Hi everybody, so I'm back. Yes, I am pumping them out this week. It has been a very active week, and as I said, I'm trying to stay on top of everything. So a few of you that are my long-time followers have been asking me after my doggies. Chia and Leela are doing absolutely fine, but they are not often seen without a hoodie or a jumper or a blanket on them these days because they are Greek rescues and they do not like winter. A bit like me. In fact, I think everyone that lives in my household was not meant for cold climates. And I know I've got some of you that follow me from Canada and like, cold? Shh, you don't know what cold is. But while we're quickly talking about my babies, I've got to show you off something absolutely epic that a friend of mine had done for me. All right, there we go. Yes, that's Leela and Shia. How amazing is this? Isn't it exceptional? That is an oil painting on canvas. And my friend Naomi Scott, she's an art dealer that lives in New York. She's got her company set up. She set it up back in 2020 and it's called Majoidu. It's got a lovely little ring to it, Majoidu. And she works with different artists from all around the globe. And my particular painting was done by a Kenyan artist, Edward NK, who alongside other artists are offering their services to Naomi and to Majoidu. I'll show you some of the work here. This is in particular, this is Edward who did my painting. But you can see, you can have photographs done of relatives, you can have artwork done. The Duchess of Cambridge, well, she was at the time, now the Princess of Wales. So anything that you are thinking of possibly having done for you, for family members, please feel free to contact Naomi at Majoidu, and this is her website here. All of her contact details are here. Here's a flash of her business card. This is Naomi, the beautiful and wonderful Naomi Scott, and her mission is to try and stop people from bulk buying boring, mass-printed, mass-produced prints that we have all around our homes from the big superstores and stuff. You know, everyone's got them. She wants people to be able to have pieces of artwork that are unique, that are individual. I mean, the skills of these artists are out of this world. So yes, I can't wait to get that professionally framed and then I can have it up on the wall. Who knows, I might actually change my background behind me and look like Lady of the Manor, build a fake fireplace, have my hounds above it, start wearing a tiara, calling myself Lady Taz. Be a bit of competition for Lady Colin Campbell. But yes, a big thank you to Naomi for doing that for me. It's wonderful. I love it. And a massive, huge thank you to Edward. Your skills are absolutely mind-blowing. So good luck with the future ventures, guys. Now, let's talk about a member of the royal family in America collecting an award. Yes, Sophie, the Countess of Wessex. I knew I got some of you. I bet you thought. But as I said, it was in the beginning of what I said, a royal, not an ex-royal. So Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, was collecting a very prestigious award from Hillary Clinton. You can imagine the storm cloud that was surfacing over the top of Montecito at this time. Sophie was at Georgetown University in Washington on the 5th of December to receive the Hillary Clinton Award for her commitment to bringing awareness to ending sexual violence in war zones. Sophie has visited many countries, including that of the Democratic Republic of Congo, South Sudan, Kosovo, just to name a couple, to learn more about the inspiring work that lots of people are doing to help end sexual violence in conflict. Sophie has been a part of the WPS, which is the Women, Peace and Security Council, as part of the United Nations initiative since 2019. We've seen Sophie at the UN on numerous occasions. This is obviously something that she is very passionate about, along when we see Sophie, and she deals with a lot of charities to do with stopping children from going blind at an early age, especially in poorer countries. Sophie is a member of the royal family that just quietly gets on with it, and she often has her boots on the ground. And I love the fact, like Catherine, like Camilla, they stick to one thing and then that's what they become known for, and really push for those particular subjects to be noticed. So you've got Hillary Clinton giving an award to Sophie, the Countess of Wessex. You've got the Obamas that have said quietly, you know, tactfully, that they don't really care for how Harry and Meghan have treated their family. And obviously we had President Biden meeting with Prince William, who took the time out of his busy schedule to meet with the Prince to do with the Earthshot Prize. So, as I said, there's a big old storm cloud that has been brewing over in Montecito, which quickly turned to lightning strikes when, on the eve of Meghan and Harry's much anticipated, now who am I kidding, awards ceremony, the Ripple of Hope, we have a diplomatic reception that was held at Buckingham Palace, and we had tiaras galore. This was the King's first diplomatic reception. Catherine was in a beautiful blood red Jenny Packham dress, wearing the lotus flower tiara. Catherine has worn this before, but it hasn't been seen on her since 2015. Queen Camilla looked absolutely radiant and is looking truly fabulous. She was wearing the King George VI sapphire tiara, and she was seen wearing in the car an absolutely stunning embroidered jacket. I was genuinely surprised because I wasn't aware that this was going on, because I had my head literally in a bunker for the last 48 hours trying to stay on top of all of the news that's coming out. But what a wonderful surprise to have all of these photographs and Catherine in another amazing, beautiful dress so soon after the Earth shot. I have to say, I was totally vibing with this one lucky fan, as you can see here, who managed to get herself in the shot when Princess Catherine and Prince William were waving at people. I hope she knows, and her friends have told her that she's made it into newspapers with this one, because I would have that totally printed off and framed on the wall. I think most of us probably in that moment would probably look the same. So now let's mosey on over to the ripple of hope. Well, lots of things I can say about this whole event, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I've got to talk about the Netflix trailer, because obviously all hell is going to break loose tonight when the first 3 parts are released. But let's talk about Meghan's outfit. She looked nice. She looked really lovely. These are one of these times when her makeup looked lovely. It suited her. Her hair looked very nice. I loved her earrings. The colour white looks really nice on her. She's definitely dialed back the fake tan. However, the dress was a little bit ill-fitting around the middle. It's quite obvious on Meghan because she's lost a lot of weight, so it swamped her a little bit. And I do not like black patent shoes. It would have looked a lot nicer with some nude shoes, I think, or just a softer colour. Black patent for me just remind me of school, and they just kind of cheapened the overall look. But otherwise, Meghan did look incredibly pretty, apart from the really scary rigor mortis type grin. Now, have you ever practiced this grin? I was doing it earlier, and she must have to go, and she's doing that the whole time. Look at these photographs back to back. It is scary. It doesn't matter what's happening, whether she's walking on stage, if she's turning her head, if she's having a conversation. She speaks to Harry briefly at one point, and she talks through her teeth and then goes back to the grin. It's super creepy. I understand that actresses do adopt this when they're maybe having a photo call on the red carpet, but this was just taking it to a bizarre level. It reminds me of the dog toys that you can get for your dog. Like this, you know, it is that type of just weird plastic stuck on grin. Now, I've got a little clip to play you here because it would seem that quite a lot of people are actually calling out the couple.
Harry, over here. Harry, what do you think about destroying the royal family? Meghan, you destroyed the royal family!
Harry, do you have a message for your family? Are you harming your family, Harry?
Harry, are you putting money before family? Are you putting money before family?
How many questions?
It's really good to see that people are calling them out, especially Harry. You know, how can he be doing this? How can he be selling his family down the river for a paycheck? It is truly absolutely disgraceful. When Megxit happened, when Harry chose his bride, all these different events that have gone along, if we had turned around and seen Harry at this stage, I don't think even people that had predicted Megxit would predict that it would come this far. Harry has managed to take it to levels lower than I think anyone ever expected, and he can't go any lower, can he? Collecting an award for attacking your family for a paycheck, and yet they will still play victims. Now, back to Meghan's outfit. She is quite clearly the star of the show here, to the point she gets out the car. Near enough has an embarrassing photo there, but she gets out the car and Harry is her umbrella holding guy, and then she's steaming ahead. Harry's chasing after her. He might as well just be her handbag bitch at this point. At one point, someone's commented on social media that she almost drags him into a police officer. She's so hell-bent with that Richter's grin of just tearing towards the waiting photographers. She's just literally dragging him behind, and it's embarrassing to watch. It's quite clear to see from the couple which one of them is thriving the most. Now, as for their speech and their acceptance, I won't bore you with it, honestly. We've heard it all before. We know it was just going to be complete and utter piffle. But there was a bit where Meghan talks about her mental health struggles, the fact that she had suicidal thoughts, and she says that she hopes that no one ever feels that they're alone again, unless, quite clearly they are the man that gave her every penny and raised her and gave her every luxury. And she doesn't seem to care about the fact that she has completely ditched her father with his ill health in Mexico. And she's there trying to act all holier than thou and saintly, going, I hope no one ever feels like they're alone. Yeah, oh please, it is so scripted, it is cringeworthy. Meghan's doing her grin and her over-exaggerated laughing that she does because Harry spoke about date night. Oh God, sorry, I'm sorry. As you can tell, I'm just over the fact that they are just total hypocrites. They are unbelievable. Harry, who turned around and said on that South Africa documentary, every time I hear a camera click, it just reminds me, it puts me in such a bad place. Well, quite clearly, he has no issue now. Now, one thing which should absolutely come as no surprise whatsoever, Harry and Meghan. Lots of people have said, why are they getting this award? Why are they accepting this award? Well, the truth came out. Harry and Meghan, much like they did when they accepted the award for the NAACP, if you remember that, they announced that they were doing their own awards, a collaboration with the NAACP, where they've done exactly the same. Yes, Archwell and the RFKHR are collaborating, teaming up to give an award for gender equity in student film. The only thing I will say there, let's just hope the students, unlike Netflix, make sure that they use footage from their actual subject's life rather than lots of other famous celebrities around the world to try and buffer out the fact that they have got no content. But as I said, just like the NAACP, the fact that they are collaborating and collecting an award at the same time, it just proves the fact it was nothing more than a transactional business deal. People have now heard of the Ripple of Hope Awards because, let's be honest, had you heard of it before? I know I hadn't. So Harry and Meghan have helped Kerry Kennedy put that on the map. And then Meghan gets to pretend that she's an A-lister once a year as she comes out holding an award to give to others in a brand new sparkly dress and maybe some new veneers. So let's get on to the Netflix trailer. I can hear your eye roll from here. Yes, mine did the same. It is literally painful from the very moment it starts. We start with Harry driving. It's really hard to look back now and go, what on earth happened? Then you turn to a side shot of a makeup-free, forlorn-looking Meghan, pretending that she doesn't have a camera crew inches from her face, and she gazes sadly out of the window while pouting. Quick flash to the engagement photograph. Oh, this is when it all started for them, a kiss of their wedding. And then we are back to Meghan and Harry on the sofa. And Meghan goes, and then everything changed. I have got a really shit clip, by the way. Let's try that again. And then everything changed. No, I give up. Okay, but you get my point. So what they are talking about here is when everything changed, Meghan and Harry have got it into their heads. Well, this is their new version of events. That when Harry and Meghan went to Australia, when she was clutching her, I don't know, what was she, about 3 weeks, 4 weeks gone, when she was clutching her non-existent bump, and they got it into their heads with this latest storyline, the evil monarchy, the evil villains that they are, because it scans to a photograph of them on the balcony. It's when it all changed, because Meghan and Harry were so popular when they went to Australia. Meghan made such an unbelievable impression on Australians in Fiji, in Tonga, where she didn't even curtsy to the Queen. And yes, this is the storyline they're going with. And the royal family were incensed. They were enraged that Meghan and Harry could steal the shine from their stars in the making, which is Catherine and William. Because Harry goes on to hit it home. There is a hierarchy in the monarchy. And I hate to state the obvious, but every company has a hierarchy. You have CEOs, you have management, top management, middle management, you have supervisors. You literally have structure in every company. The royal family, whilst it is a family, as it was, you know, the institution and the jobs that Harry and Meghan were given, they worked very much as a very well-oiled cog that went round. There was an order, there was a process, they had a way of doing things. Meghan and Harry ripped up the rule book and then complained that it wasn't going in their favour. But how can they even say that? Meghan and Harry were given offices, they were given their own teams of staff, they were given a huge position with the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, her baby, her legacy, right? Meghan had a position of Vice President of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, literally created for her. She had a team of staff around her. Some of them had worked for the Queen directly for years to make sure that Meghan felt welcome, that she had everything explained to her, that Meghan wouldn't need to want for anything. And yet still clearly obvious that everyone bent over backwards to them. Those honours are normally only given to direct heirs of the throne. Look at the patronages. The Queen gave Meghan the Royal Theatre because she thought Meghan would enjoy it and love it because it was her, you know, the acting. She gave her the dogs because she knew Meghan had dogs. Well, Meghan gave them a £5 donation and used it as a brief photo shoot to hug a puppy. She gave her smart works, which Meghan then turned into some weird fashion thing rather than actually about supporting women getting back into work, had a photo shoot and got her friend Misha Nunu with her designer togs involved in it. She literally took everything that was given to her and has run with it in the opposite direction and gone, no one gave me anything. I was treated abominably. No, she wasn't. Cue Jenny Afia, Meghan's friend and a lawyer and whatever Jenny Afia is to her these days. There is a war against Meghan. There is an agenda. What, like the war that she's quite clearly trying to direct at poor Princess Catherine? At the end of the day, they fluffed up here as well. They showed in the first trailer Meghan crying into her hands, and a lot of us, like me, thought she looks like she's laughing. So then they showed the next shot, and Meghan is quite clearly sitting there smirking behind her hand. She's not got tears in her eyes, no puffy eyes, so she wasn't crying. They are completely dramatising this trailer, which obviously we knew that they would, but they can't even seem to keep up with the storyline that they're trying to portray from one bit to the next. The trailer then goes on to say it's about hatred, it's about race, and then they show a picture, right, of Meghan walking in, well, a short scene of Meghan walking in on Harry, swinging an Apple MacBook or whatever it is, you know, just by the corner of it, swinging it around. She's obviously upset. And Harry then throws his head in his hands, which is clearly a deeply upsetting and emotional moment of frustration for him, mere inches away from the film crew that have managed to capture this absolutely awful, heartbreaking moment. The music is becoming more dramatic, and every time they show pictures of the royal family, it's like they're going to play Darth Vader the Imperial March at any moment. Harry's voice comes into it again. The pain and suffering of women marrying into this institution. There's flashes of Diana and Catherine being hounded by the paparazzi, but it's quite clearly obvious that he is trying to portray his wife Meghan being the same tortured soul that Diana was. And the thing is, he's using footage of Diana and Catherine to try and portray the point of how his wife has been hounded. And it's just, what are they thinking? What are they truly thinking? Poor Catherine, you see her being chased. There's shots of cameras, of paparazzi screaming at their car, surrounding poor Harry and Meghan. Meghan then bizarrely says at this point, I realise that they are never going to protect you. Huh? Is she saying that to Harry, who's been protected from birth? That Harry, the only reason why he's not protected by Scotland Yard anymore is because you made him leave the royal family or convinced him that's what he needed to do? Or is she doing that thing like she does on her podcast, where what she's actually doing is saying, Harry said this to me. Harry said that I know that they're never going to protect you. Well, why don't you let Harry say it? Why are you saying what Harry said to you? It's just that weird, creepy thing that she did on her podcast. But either way, who's not going to protect her? What, Scotland Yard? The best top security in the whole of the UK? The fact as a member of the royal family living in the Queen's back garden, they had armed military guarding their homes day and night, that they had armed police escorts and security out with them wherever they went on holiday, no matter where they were going. But yes, they knew that they weren't going to be protected. When exactly were they not going to be protected? Maybe it was when they decided to leave the monarchy? Then we have Harry's dramatic voiceover again. I didn't want history to repeat itself. And then there's Harry and Meghan sitting in the back of the car, again mere inches away from a film crew. Harry and Meghan slowly turn to look out the back window, and as they do, you see a car 20 yards down the road that's dared to turn in the same direction as their vehicle, as the camera crew get a clear shot of the offending vehicle approaching the poor harassed couple. And I want to ask, how can history be repeating itself here? They're obviously trying to make out that Meghan was harassed and persecuted like Diana, but they're also trying to say it was racism and hatred. And it just doesn't make sense. They are literally trying to say that Meghan got harassed like Diana and Catherine did by showing footage of Diana and Catherine being harassed. Harry ends with, no one knows the full truth. we know the full truth. Yes, Harry, because that's what you and your wife have become famous for, telling the truth. And then when you come to the trailer, the Netflix trailer has absolutely been destroyed across social media. They've used images of Catherine and Diana being hounded. They've used school children waving, but they actually were from 1938 cheering Queen Mary. They've used images of Katie Price attending the courthouse in Crawley to try and display that they are being stalked and harassed by paparazzi. Paparazzi swarm in a vehicle, which they try to make out that it's Harry and Meghan in the car. It's actually Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer. When we saw the sea of photographers snapping away, it was actually a Harry Potter premiere. They show a scene of them in South Africa and a press photographer is obviously intruding again, taking a shot from the balcony. Now, Robert Jobson, he has been on the fence. He's like a flag in the wind. He's like Chris Shipp. And he has defended the couple on multiple occasions. But even he's chimed in here and said, there were 3 photographers strictly, this is under Harry and Meghan's rules and Tom Bradby, strictly allowed. Harry and Meghan agreed to those shots, probably turned around and told where the photographers to be. He's like, I was there. There was no press intrusion. This was organised by Harry and Meghan. Now, naturally, their defenders have come forward, said that using stock footage, it's not meant to be taken literally. Okay, but it is misleading, isn't it? Because you are literally trying to sell a TV show to get people to watch poor Harry and Meghan, the victims, everything they went through. But you're using photographs and footage of what other people, completely unrelated, most of them, have actually experienced and been through. That is false advertising. And there's a good reason for it as well, because we're not going to have photographs and footage of Meghan running for her life, trying to get into a car to get away from the waiting paparazzi. We've got lots of paparazzi shots that Meghan has arranged and set up for herself when she was dating Harry, when she was engaged to Harry, in the run-up to the wedding to Harry, after the wedding, you know, and she continuously uses paparazzi and she continuously does her little cheesy pap strolls now. The reason why they're using other people's footage is because there is no footage of Harry and Meghan being hounded and harassed and being attacked, because they weren't. The Netflix trailers have proved many things to many people, but the main thing that I'm taking from it is that it is going to be a purely fictional version of events. It's going to be fantasy, and they're going to have nothing to back it up. Now, one thing to remember here, Harry and Meghan have made it clear, it's all about subjective feelings. It doesn't mean it's literal. It's not about what happened. It's about how they felt. It may not be the truth, but it is their truth, which translates to it is going to be utter bollocks. So that's it for me, guys, on this video. I will be back with you soon. Obviously, it is all going to be raining down and going mental when this Netflix series is dropped, so you'll have to bear with me. I've busted out so many videos. I'm going to sit back, relax, and just take it all in, and then I will come together for a decent video for you. So I will see you guys very soon. Take care for now.
If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.